All right, all right. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again. It's time to bring you that November Unit Rune Showcase. We're going to be focusing on our offense, our defense teams with regards to Guild Wars. In addition to that, our B10 teams. All right. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Way back in the day, after Rune move, I used to go ahead and make you guys these unit room showcases so that you can kind of get a heads up on what's going down. But over the last 3 to 6 months, they've just been kind of here and there just for the fact that the changes that I've made are really, really slight changes, not too many crazy improvements. But that's the name of the game, trying to get those runes, trying to get them evolved, get your units evolved, get them awakened, get them improved. But for me at this age, they come pretty darn slow. I think we did have a couple of changes. We've had a couple of units that we've incorporated. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about that and then just go over just some of the basic units that we talk about that most people ask me with regards to B10 and stuff like that. So we'll get right into it. We'll start out with the Giants team. Leading off the way is going to be Teshar. Teshar is Rune on Despair set. Attack, crit damage attack. No real reason why I'm running Despair versus something else. It just kind of came down to the extra runes that I have to get the critical rate, critical damage, and attack power that I want. The speed is kind of a bonus, and it actually works out good for a team that I'm going to mention to you guys a little bit later on down the road, the Necropolis team. But for the concept of Giants, I'm just a big fan of its leader skill. You guys know that he runs a critical rate leader skill for the dungeon side, 33% critical rate. So, early on, if you remember my Giants B10 team, it was Teshar, double Lushen. Sorry, it was Theomars at the lead, double Lushen, Galleon, Stella. Now it's Teshar here. So with Teshar's universal critical rate for all elements, now I can essentially make sure that all my units are running that 100% critical rate. And I've said before in previous videos, while some people may decide to use a Lushen in this aspect, I prefer the critical rate cap over the extra attack power because again, we focus our units around critical damage, and so in order to get that critical damage, we have to have the critical rate to back it up. If we don't have the critical rate, there's no point in doing that, right? So this is where he's at, with regards to his runes. Next up, we got ourselves Lushen. Both of my Lushens way back in the day one used to be just a Rage Blade or Rage set, and one used to be a Despair set. So actually, that Despair Blade, that Despair set that you saw on Teshar is on Teshar, right? And then now I got ourselves some broken runes. So let's take a look at it. We got attack, crit damage attack. As you can see, the reason why these runes are on here is because the speed, critical rate, critical damage stats, as well as the attack power are where I want them to be when it comes to just overall quality for this unit. I am utilizing. I did actually intentionally put that Lushen set on a shield. You'll notice that both of my Lushens actually do have a shield set on. The Rage shield just kind of worked out at the point, but I am a big fan of the broken Lushens with a shield set. If I had the choice, I definitely would run a will set on my second one with regards to PvP. The second Lushen that goes after the first one, right? But at this particular time, I don't have the wheel runes like you're gonna hear me say time and time and again. But I do like the shield set when it comes to Giants B10, and then of course Necropolis B10 when I was playing around with the Lushens. Reason being is, guys, when you're getting into these fights, sometimes your units can be a little squishy. So having that little bit of a cushion is really darn nice. Now, of course, the shield set is 50% of the HP of the unit that you originally got the set on. So with regards to Lushen having the base HP of 9225, there's not going to be too much value made. But again, I'm able to, for my particular runes that I have, I'm able to stack two sets, and it does kind of give me a little bit of a cushion when it comes to those first couple of waves. If I don't, clear them right away. In the Necropolis, I see the benefit very, very strong. With regards to Giants B10, not so much. But again, it's kind of nice to have, especially if I do play around in the PvP aspect of this and get to put a shield set on Lushen. And we'll talk about those teams when I go down the road. So we got the double Lushen. We got ourselves Galleon, wherever Galleon is hiding. Galleon, no changes here. Speed, attack, HP. Overall, I'm looking to keep him at about 85% accuracy. The speed is relatively high because I use him every so often in combination with a what was it called? Charlotte here. In addition to that, all of my units with regards to another team we're going to be talking about, Dragons B10, they are relatively fast. They're anywhere in that 150 to 190. So as I'll explain later on, I need Galleon to be the first one to go. And so this is where his speed needs to be in order to do that while maintaining overall well-rounded stats. With regards to Giants B10, he's going to be the first one to go all day. And so that's what I want. I want him to get that attack buff and defense break on, quickly so we can go ahead and get those units pushing through super fast. The brander for my team, Stella, if you guys have seen me talk about her time and time and again, a strong unit for Giants B10, Dragons B10, Rift of Worlds, an amazing unit to say the least here. I'm running speed, crit damage, attack. Overall, pretty decent stats. Accuracy is all right, kind of where I want it to be when it comes to the PvE world. With regards to PvP, I guess we can always use a little bit more accuracy, but in the terms of PvP, I generally just use it for fun. You're not going to see me gamble all too much with it in regards to Guild Wars or Arena. If I am, I'm just trolling and having fun with that. But overall, I'm liking these stats where they're at. If I could, I probably would try to get a little resistance for like a Rift of Worlds team if you're using it for Rift of Worlds. But if your cleansers are fast enough, and have high resistance, and I'm okay with having her a little bit lackluster on that resistance status. So yeah, for Giants B10, really sharp unit, providing the defense break, the attack bar manipulation, and then of course the branding, which is going to give us that 25% improved damage, increased damage there. So really sharp unit. So overall, this Giants B10 team, Teshar, Lushen, Galleon, Stella, runs at about an average of, I would say, 52 seconds or something like that, and then every so often I'm in that low 40 range, and very rarely I'm in that low 30 range, if I have that perfect run. So overall, that's my Giants B10 team. Nothing too much to say to improve. All of my units, with the exception of Galleon, is going to be at 100% critical rate, so critting all the time is actually where I want it to be. Dragons B10, let's take a look. My main team, Dragons B10, is going to be Verde, Galleon. We got Stella one more time. We got Tarq, and then we got where's she at? Luna. Is she hiding? There she is. So Luna's up in here. So let's talk about Verde here. Verde, don't laugh too hard. I just borrowed a room from somebody else. He's not sitting at that plus 15. I borrowed a room from here, but he's running attack, critical rate attack. Now we've talked about this beforehand. If you see my videos back in the day, I used to run a like a 215, 220 Violent Revenge Verde, but I had it all wrong. My particular preference now is to have him be the last one to go on my team, and so I seeing that I realized that with regards to the rest of my team that you'll see here shortly, the units are sitting at that 160, 170, 180, 185 speed plus. So because of the fact that allows me to run attack on 2 because I have enough speed substats for my other runes to get the job done. So that means that because I'm taking off speed on 2, and I have him synergized to exactly what I want it to be, I'm getting that extra 63% attack on 2 when I get a 6-star rune, right? I know he doesn't have the rune on there now. He did, but then it's just going to allow me to get a little bit more DPS from him when he gets his turn in. So I'm digging it. We don't need to go over Galleon. And of course, Galleon's going to be the first one to go. We have gone over Stella in this aspect. We got ourselves Tarq. So as far as the lead goes here, we got Galleon going first. Then we got Tarq going second. We got Stella going third. We got Luna going fourth. And then we got our Verde going fifth. So reason being on that is Galleon, obviously he's the attack buff, defense break. So he's kind of key as far as being able to clear the wave super fast. We want him to go first all day. With regards to Tarq going up next, if Galleon derps, I definitely want to have Tarq give the opportunity to pull him or Stella and get that additional defense break on, especially when we're on that stage 5 of the boss. Making sure I get that defense break on is crucial, especially when Luna's getting ready to go. Next one up is going to be Stella. Why do I have Stella going up next? Because of her branding skill. When it comes to that middle boss, as well as the fifth stage 5 boss, I definitely want to make sure that my defense break is on, my branding is on before Luna gets her big nuke in, and I'll go ahead and talk about that beforehand. So as far as let's go back to Tarq here. Tarq is running speed, crit damage, attack. I changed a couple of his runes around. He is running a little bit more attack, just a tad bit less speed, but overall more or less the same critical rate and critical damage here. He's running just under 80% critical rate. I'd like him to be about 85 if I can, but again, just sitting here with what I got, overall looking to improve it. Now let's take a look at Luna. Luna was no changes here. She's running a swift broken set, attack, crit damage, attack. The critical rate is okay. I need it to be a little bit sharper. I want to be in that 95% range. Her DPS is too strong not to crit. I need a crit on this. Why is that? If you're not familiar with this unit, Dark Force, being able to lock down the enemy and reduce their attack bar by 50%. This will increase your attack bar by 100%, but this damage, believe it or not, in addition to being based on attack, is also based on the enemy's max HP. So this particular skill has to be one of the best, if not the best, damage dealers when it comes to that third skill on the Dragon's B10 boss. I've had this rune, played around with different rune builds and whatnot on her, and I've had her do upwards of 66k damage on that third skill, which is comparable to quite a few of the Nat 5s out there today. Well runed endgame runed Nat 5s out there, really darn strong. And again, because of the fact that she has that attack bar manipulation, not just on the negative side, but the positive side, she's going to get that second turn and hopefully use that second skill that's going to do anywhere from 25 to 30k on these particular runes. I'm running the level 6 tower on her, so she does pretty decent with where she's at. And you don't need to have her on a violent set. A broken set's going to be good because again, that third skill is going to give you the attack bar by 100%, increase by attack bar by 100%, assuming that you haven't gotten touched earlier on, haven't lost any HP. So let's see. So that's pretty much it with the Dragons B10 team. Again, we already went over Galleon. We went over Stella here. The only thing to mention on to here is obviously if your intention is to improve the DPS of your runs, you can definitely set this unit up for a little bit more DPS. Run some kind of speed critical rate attack, speed attack, whatever it is you got to do. But because I use this in Guild Wars and I use this in some certain situations where I know that I will not, I want to have that first turn swipe, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I definitely don't mind running him with a little bit more tankiness, just so I can take advantage of him as a more of a support. But when it comes to Dragons B10, if you're just using Galleon for those B10 runs in order to improve the speed, you can get away with less HP and you can definitely bring that DPS stronger. This guy's damage multipliers on the first and second skill are pretty darn good, so keep that in mind if you're looking to improve your DPS on those particular dungeons here. So next one up, we got ourselves an Acropolis B10 team. You guys have seen a recent video, not too many changes, but I'll go over the units and runes real quick. The composition is Colleen leading off. We have Teshar going second. We have Shihwa going third. We have the Wind Lich going fourth. And then last but not least is the Water Lich going fifth. So first off with Colleen. Colleen is back on a Violent Revenge set. Speed, hit point. Did about 150 to 200 more test runs in addition to the 300 runs I did, and started to see a little bit more of a consistent sub 90-second clear on the Violent rune. So I went ahead and switched it back. Needless to say, as you guys saw from the original testing and the runs that we were getting done, if you do have the opportunity to play around with some of your multi-hitting units and get them in that triple revenge set, you could definitely do a great job and allow yourself to use some of those Violent runes in other aspects of the game. Next one up after Colleen was Teshar, and this is why I kind of let that Despair set do the talking here with regards to the speed that I got. Having Teshar go second for me was working a little bit better. I started to push Teshar a little bit farther down the road, but it seemed to be that having Teshar go second and then having Shihwa go it was giving me a better chance for my fourth unit, the Wind Lich, to go ahead and land one of its skills with regards to a slower defense break, hopefully the slow. And if I can get that slow first turn, that's going to allow me to potentially get the kill on the Necropolis boss before he's able to pull a unit. If I can get it done before he pulls in a unit, I'm easily getting that sub 90-minute run, almost sub 80-second run. So let's take a look. Teshar, so we got Shihwa here. Shihwa, Violent Revenge, attack, crit damage, attack. Decent critical rate. This is the critical rate that I kind of want because I'm running a 33% critical rate lead. And then the critical damage is good. Speed is where we want it to be. Definitely want to have her on a revenge set to kind of assist with those multi-hits. You guys are familiar with her having the 3-turn single target hit, and then of course the 5-turn or 5 multi-hit skill on the 5th, and also giving the branding skill. Having that branding skill is going to improve the overall damage of my team, allow me to kill it quicker. Again, it's one of those things where if it lands, great, but more so, I'm just hoping for the I'm hoping for the actual multi-hit effect, just to clear that shield and make sure I can get all the rest of the debuffs on from the wind and water lich. So I'll take the branding if I can, but if I don't get it that first round, that's okay. I'm just trying to clear that shield to get those debuffs on first round. Second round, yeah, let's take that branding. Fuco is the next one up. He's running a violent focus attack or damage attack. Now, you guys are asking yourself, why not a violent revenge? I am a big advocate of a violent revenge, but the violent revenge, right, the revenge aspect is only 15% to counterattack, whereas the focus set, right, the focus allows me to get the accuracy that I need to make sure that I land my harmful effects, right? So if you take a look at these skills, I have 2 to 3 times that I have a chance, a 40% chance, of course, if we add this harmful effect rate, add those in addition to this skill in, these are not 100% chance activation. They are not. And so I really, really need to make up for that because you got that accuracy, you got that activation check, and then you got your accuracy resistance check. So making sure that I have a reasonably decent amount of accuracy is going to be strong. We've seen a lot of people recommend in that 40, 45, 50, percent plus accuracy. I feel that where I'm at right now with 47%, I feel really good about that. Obviously, if I had the accuracy on the other violent runes, I would definitely switch it out for going for that revenge set on there. Or I can even make an argument for maybe playing around with a fight set, doing whatever I can to improve the overall DPS and improve those runs. But again, having the revenge set does give me that extra RNG factor to make sure those multi-hits get used so that the shield goes down. I can put those debuffs off and get the clear. All right. Water Lich, the DPS, the accuracy is a little bit lower, but the DPS is pretty darn sound. The critical rate's a little higher than I need, but it just kind of comes down to the runes. He's going to be the slowest one to go. Attack, crit damage attack on the Violent Revenge. Love the stats here. Have not made any changes for a long time on him, just for the fact that he is really where I want him to be. If I play around with other units to mix and match those speeds, then I can play around with some different runes. But for the most part, the runes that I could improve him on are going to tweak my speeds a little bit too much and get him out of sync. So right now I've kind of kept him where he's at, currently here. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the Necropolis team. We got a lot of. I know a lot of people have kind of been curious about the arena. Have seen me in the arena. They see my arena defense and they wonder if I'm using a troll defense or not. 99% of the time, I'm using basically my regular defense, and I don't run. I do not run a troll defense all too much. And in regards to my defenses, I generally run anywhere from a 40, 45, 50% defense rate, across the board throughout the week. Mind you, I'm sitting in Conquer 2, Conquer 3, every so often G1, G2 after I use my swords. But for the most part, I'm sitting at the bottom to middle end of Conquer 3 just on average, and then anywhere from the higher end of Conquer 3 to G1. And this is the defense percentages that I get from that range. So my team for that is Vanessa, Orion, Kumar, and Veromos here. We'll take a look at Vanessa. Vanessa's running HP, HP, HP. The speed substats are pretty darn strong on this one here. Good hit points here, but also take note on the attack power. The attack power is pretty darn decent for the substats on these 3 runes here. So of course I need to get some attack power rocking a better rune here, but I just haven't had any better runes to do. I am a big fan of this, even with the no critical damage on the second one. I have the attack power pretty decent there, 1400 attack, and when I'm critting with that second skill, even though it's not, it's based on the enemy's max HP, I'm doing for the most part anywhere from 8 to 12. I've had some 13k hits, so overall the stats are not too bad. I'm generally critting anywhere from 5 to 8k on the first skill, so I'm pretty happy with this unit considering it has that chain link effect. I know there's been a lot of talk about it with regards to the third skill. If you guys have seen the Reddit forums, there's been a lot of talk with regards to this unit, if it needs to be nerfed or whatnot. I don't really care about that right now. For me, Arena is not the main focus. It is Guild Wars. So with regards to this unit here, I have it just runed up just to have fun with it for right now. Maybe down the road I'll get, I'll play around with this Rune build to see if I can make it more of a hybrid. But at this particular stage of the game, it being generally a support monster, used as a support monster, I prefer the support route. But who knows? Maybe down the road I will be able to get myself some better stats overall with the speed, the critical rate, and critical damage I want, so I can surprise some people and put out some real good numbers with this unit. Orion, this is going to be one that we'll kind of go over quite a bit here. Probably one of my best Rune units, even though the stats look pretty darn low in comparison to Sun. This is my favorite unit for sure. Maybe not the best Rune unit, but I'm really happy with the stats overall. 233 speed, 1500 defense, strong resistance, and strong accuracy. And most people, with regards to this accuracy here, this is the amount of accuracy that they have when they're running accuracy on 6. I'm running a stat rune, a defense rune on 6 right there. So again, you're definitely making sure that you want to get in that higher accuracy range with this unit. But for me, I definitely, like, if I can do anything to improve its effective HP, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I've done with these runes here. I've done everything in my power to get high accuracy on it, and even though I'm running Will, I know that I'm not going to be the fastest when it comes to the Guild Wars aspect or the arena aspect. So having not just the Will runes on, but having the high resistance, so that after that turn 1, if people try to go for it or whatnot, they can't defense break it and kill it quickly. I really like that about that. And again, this shines more in the Guild War aspect, but of course, since it's in my arena defense, I'll go ahead and talk about it. Veromos got a little bit of a nerf. Veromos did get a nerf here. If you guys see my Veromos for back in the day, it used to be a violent guard set similar to this, but I had upwards of 1800 defense. This rune was the replacement here. If you have seen my Miyang that I use with regards to Rift of Worlds, she is hiding here somewhere. This is the rune that I sold from her. This rune, if I had it on Veromos, it would give me 1800 defense. The defense, having that extra defense on there was pretty darn strong when I used it effectively in my Guild Wars defense. Now, you guys know that I got Seara a few months back, and so because of that, I swapped out Veromos using Seara Orion Kumar versus Veromos Orion Kumar. Because of the fact that Veromos is not on my defense anymore for Guild Wars, then I went ahead and went for better runes on other aspects of the game, and still made Veromos relatively tanky here. Plus 886 defense is nothing to be down about. We got ourselves Kumar. I guess if I had to say, even though Orion is my favorite unit, Kumar has to be my best rune unit. Again, rocking the will. No changes here. HP, critical damage, HP. 95 critical rate, 140 critical damage. I'm pretty happy with it. 43k HP. I'm looking to improve the defense and the speed on here. I'm actually happy with where the HP is. Sure, I can increase it to get a little bit more DPS, but I want to improve the effective HP on this. I would like to get somewhere in that vicinity of like a plus 600 defense and probably anywhere from like 10 to 15 speed. So overall, no changes there, but again, I want to showcase that because I use this. I'll be talking about Guild War defense teams that I use in addition to this one. Let's see. We got ourselves, that was the arena defense team. We've gone over Necropolis, Giants. We've gone over the Necropolis, Giants, Dragons, and the arena defense. Let's go ahead and talk about the Guild Wars defense. Guild Wars defensive units here. Now, Guild War defense here. We have ourselves the CR Orion Kumar. Now, we've looked at all the units here with the exception of Theo, Chasun, or we haven't looked at CR on the first turn, and we haven't looked at Draco, Theo. We haven't looked at the whole team on the second turn, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Seara is running attack, HP attack here. Initially, I kept her out of Guild War defense because of the fact that she was relatively squishy. I'm looking to improve her HP, put it in that 26-27k range. I really want there with that same overall stats. I couldn't make any changes without sacrificing too much accuracy, so her runes did not change on this particular aspect. Overall, I'm pretty darn happy with her as it is right now because I do get a ton of wins on this particular team versus the top three in the current and global side right now. This is one of those teams that even though everyone knows how to take it down, the RNG factor is too strong. The RNGesus is too strong in this one, and it seems to get the best of my opponents in the top five, top three guilds. So that being said, we've already taken a look at the other units of Orion and Kumar. You guys know the strength of that. We don't have to look at it again. My second team here, we're running Draco, a Despair. Draco, speed, HP, with 133 or 233 speed. We got ourselves next up going Chasun, running the 207 speed, HP, Violent Will. And then we got us, last but not least, we got ourselves Theo Mars, attack, crit damage, attack with 83 speed substats. So overall, really happy with that. In this particular comp, again, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't get a lot of wins with it versus the top 5, top 10 guilds. During the week, early on in the week, if we're a little bit lower in rank, sure, I get wins, but I'm looking to improve my defenses so that I can get some more of that RG factor going and get lucky on that team. Now, every once in a while, I do get a couple of wins, but again, this is definitely exploitable when it comes to the team, and the fact that I don't have Will on Theomars makes it even harder for this team to be successful, especially if they're going to outspeed me, and it's easily to be outsped when I'm not using a speed leader in this particular aspect. But again, it's using the best of what I got. I'm looking to incorporate some different teams. I do have in the works a Laika that you guys have been seeing. We've been talking about it. Trying to work a Vampire Destroy Vampire Will kind of set on here and running something of the source of like a Theomars beta Laika, with Laika being relatively tanky and annoying. But for right now, since I don't have the runes to do it, I try to play around with it. I'm just using some basic runes on Laika for right now. Either way, like I'm happy with these stats. This was the new rune that I added to Laika. And I took out a broken rune here so I can get this rune here. So overall, defense is lower than I generally had it, but I had it like I probably had about 80 more defense so I lost 80 defense here, but I gained 330 attack more or less. So it's kind of weird because again, the changes generally, if I'm trying to make it more of a hybrid, I probably try to go for that better effective HP. But because of the fact that that third skill now is counterattacking and it's based on the attack power, I did want it to add a little bit more attack power to the mix, and so trying to play around with it a little bit more often now. Now again, if we can get the runes to get back to one of my vampire sets, then I definitely will play around with that. Even though having that justice on a second turn cooldown is pretty darn strong, so I probably will go back and forth. It really just kind of depends on which runes give me the best stats that I want. But yeah, for right now, can't use it on the defense. We're just going to focus on the units that we have here. So those are my two guild war defenses. Every so often I will play around with different combinations, but for the most part, this is pretty much it. So if you find me in the Guild Wars, you know exactly what you got to do, right? As far as the offensive team go, offensive teams, we got ourselves ones that you've already seen. Pretty much any combination of Theomar Chasun X, Theomar Beta Chasun, Theomar Orion Chasun. You've already seen Orion. You haven't seen Beta. Beta is running speed, HP. Overall, pretty decent stats. About 212 speed here, 211 speed here. Decent defense subs, good critical rate, and good accuracy here. I have my runes set up in such this way because if I'm running Theomars at the lead, I'm going to be able to take advantage of the critical rate, and because of this unit being based on max HP on the first skill, I'm going to get more DPS than you would expect from a support-based unit. In addition to that, I do have some fortunate amount of accuracy here, so having a unit that's going to provide good damage, but also have a chance to remove the beneficial effects on units is really, really strong when it comes to Guild Wars. I mean, you guys, it's strong in all aspects, PvP aspects of the game, but for Guild Wars, this is pretty important for me, so I do like a little bit of accuracy on my beta, and so that's why I have it runed up that way. The other teams that you have seen with regards to offense, some common ones, Charlotte. It was Charlotte, Megan, Lushen, and now it's Charlotte, Bastet, Lushen. Charlotte, again, one of my better runed monsters here, running speed, critical damage, attack. And we got ourselves, 65 critical rate, 150 critical damage. Overall, good stats here. Because I have the 38% critical lead, I'm doing right where I wanted to do, so I can go ahead and cap out that critical rate. In addition to that, she is a couple speeds lower than Galleon right now. So now here's the deal: I don't have Galleon. I don't have them on will, so I can't really use them in combination. But in certain stages of the game or certain people that I found where I know they don't run will, then I can play around with a variety of comps with Charlotte, Galleon, and then of course a different type of AOE defense or AOE damage dealer, like my Samurai Shige. Now, but going back here, I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. Going back to the original team, we're talking about Charlotte, Bastet, and Lushen. Lushen we've already went over. Megan got a little bit of a nerf. She is swift will, speed, HP, accuracy here. I didn't play around with any runes here, other than just take away some of her decent speed runes, swift runes, so that I can put it on Bastet, give her a little bit more speed. Bastet is running a speed, HP, and she is broken. Reason being is, guys, Charlotte, Megan, Lushen is a stellar composition when it comes to people that are bringing 2 or more wind, water, light, and dark units to the mix. Now, if they're running the fire unit, I definitely have to be a little bit concerned, but depending on what unit it is, I generally can go ahead and take them out, no problem, to finish it off. But generally speaking, I'm going to be looking at those compositions like those Theomar, Chasun X composition, whether it's Wadam, whether it's Eladriel, whether it's Beta, whatever. But if it's the Fireheart running in that team as well, I'm going to run it through that. But if they have like some kind of a if they have some kind of a wind and water comp with like a Kumar in there or a Rakan in there or a Laika in there, then I might be a little bit weird. I might stay away from that. But for the most part, I see a lot of people still using Wadam to this day, and this Charlotte Bastet Lushen comp is pretty darn strong. The cool thing about this is going back to the Lushens that I utilize. Both Lushens have a shield set, so the cool thing is with regards to Bastet, getting that extra attack bar manipulation for the positive extra 5%, but now getting that shield amount proportionate to your level. I have myself 2 sets of shields on the unit. I have the shield buff that I'm getting from Bastet, and now I have the shield rune buff that I'm getting from the shield subset, right? So this is pretty darn nice. I'm really excited about this because, again, if I don't get them knocked out and I'm still sitting there with like a fire unit kind of smacking me down, having 2 sets of shield runes on this unit is pretty darn good. It's going to give me a little bit more HP to go ahead and mitigate, and hopefully I can get them down, but obviously, with regards to Megan, we're looking at, a defense buff on a defense, a defense buff on some units that have relatively low base defense anyways. So again, it's kind of one of those things where I'm looking at shield over defense, and I'll take the shield right now versus the majority of the comps that I face out there. So that's one of the teams. With regards to any speed-based team that's running Seara, Orion X, you guys have seen it time and again. We're running Jultan, Chloe, Kumar. That's the main team that I utilize here. Jultan is running a double Revenge Will. I need him to be on Revenge to go ahead and provide that extra defense break and hit point disturb, but more notably defense break when Seara goes for him. Seara is going to be forced to go with him because of the other elements being fire. And so having that Will runes on there is going to be pretty darn strong. And because of the fact that my Chloe is running the shield set, I have an additional beneficial effect in combination with the invulnerability and the immunity to force their Orion to potentially miss that Will rune immunity that I have on the unit and force Seara to waste her bombs early on and allow me to get the job done. The only issues that I have is when they have a team set up with a well-built like tanky Seara, but again, even if they are running like a Perna in that 3rd slot, CR Orion Perna, the 10% heal is not enough to save the day. I generally can take her out no problem and then just kind of work the units down, a little bit slowly but surely after that. That's one of the main offenses that I use. The main ones, again, we've talked about Beta, Theo, Beta, Chasun, Kumar, Veromos, Orion, Kumar, Veromos, Chloe, Jultan, are some of the ways with that, and then of course that Charlotte Mega Lushen. Now there's a couple of units that basically my next project that I was working on, that we were trying to do during free removal, but we couldn't get the stats that we wanted with the will runes on. Still lacking on the will. Was Galleon, Charlotte, and Shige. So the goal is to run Charlotte at the lead, have Galleon go first. All of them be, on will. Galleon go first. Charlotte go ahead and, reduce the attack bars and possibly get that stun, but possibly get that glancing hit as well. And then have Shige finish off with the third skill that's going to provide additional damage if I got a harmful effect on it, plus the attack buff that we have from the Galleon, as well as a defense break that we have on the unit. So, of course, this is only going to work if I am setting it up in a shield wheel type of fashion. I need the other team to go first, waste their real runes, so that I can allow myself to put on Galleon's buff, the time to loot, and then finish off. This does no good for me to be the first one to go and potentially waste a defense break on a unit that already has immunity. Again, this is one of those teams that I definitely want to add to the mix, but because of the fact that I don't have the will runes to get it done, I haven't been able to do it. Now, it's funny that I say I don't have the will runes to get it done. I just got done just recently doing a couple will runes from the crafting, and I was able to craft this one here, which is pretty darn nice. I didn't get no speed subset here, but again, when I'm talking about making the changes that I need to do in order to get him to be on will, be relatively tanky and whatnot, I'm not really focused on speed. I definitely want him to be right under Charlotte if I can, but that's not the big deal. The big deal is to make sure that my units are have a decent amount of speed, but relatively slower with that shield rune on, so that I can allow the other team to go absorb that first damage blow, and then finish off and let my opponents go here. So I'm pretty darn excited with this rune, because again, it's going to give me an opportunity to possibly get him on like a fatal will set. This rune, I got this rune after free removal, so I wasn't able to play around with it a little bit more, but I am excited to potentially get that done here. So that's pretty much it. We have a couple other units here that we play around with, but overall, for the most part, nothing has really changed since the last video. I want to go ahead and see. We have a bomb team that we play around with. You saw Seara. Sometimes I run Seara, Malaka, Chloe, for against those DMR Orion Chasuns, that I can get that first turn and allow them to waste their skills. With Chloe, remember, I got the shield set, so having more opportunity to keep my invulnerability on. Speed, attack, so I could be just a little bit faster than my Seara with that particular team. Other than that, though, that's pretty much it. Everything else is just kind of mix and match. Chandra, we did make some changes with Chandra. I borrowed some runes with regards to Eshir. We had put him on he was on a violent set, Violent Revenge at triple HP. I like the triple HP fashion, but I wanted to have another unit out there to play around with DPS, so he's going to be combined with Theomar's at the lead, Theomar Chandra X, possibly a Chloe comp. I don't know. We'll have to see what I decide to do, but I really like the fact that I got him back on a critical damage set again, just for the fact that I love his numbers. I have him already max skilled out, so it's good to see some big damage dealing numbers and a way of preventing Theo from dying with regards to that second skill, the defense skill scope. That's pretty much it. No other big changes there. Again, the Rift of Worlds units, we have gone over that multiple times, so hopefully if you're looking for a little bit of that insight, you can go ahead and check out my previous video. It's called Verde and the Broken Set Frontliners. I'll go ahead and tag that video in here at the end of the video if you haven't checked it out already. But overall, those are my B10 teams. That's my arena defense team, and those are some of my Guild War offense and defense teams that I utilize. If you have any questions about any other units that are here that I might not have gone over, please feel free to shoot me a message in the comment section down below. I'll be looking forward to getting back at you as soon as I can, all right? So that is it, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's a pleasure to make these videos for you as always. It's your boy Childish with ChildishPlays checking out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.